What did I teach you?
You are Duke of New York. You're A #1.
I can't hear you.
You are the Duke of New York. You're A #1.
Whereas it is fitting and proper for the legislative body to recognize and celebrate the achievements of Minister Amir Caliph El Bey, Chief Red Wolf of the Sha Siqua tribe, and commemorate February 24th as Sha Siqua Nation Day to honor the founding of its tribal government and assembly.
He said all my tribal members, my extended family, you know, Chief Justice, you know, you got a lot of work to do, you know, as we're in the Capitol and understanding that we have the power now, you know. So it's understanding our autonomy, our sovereignty. And I don't know if y'all understood what he understood, but he said antiquity status. Antiquity, so we are the people of antiquity before the colonial even got here. We are the true people of antiquity. That's why I'm wearing this purple. This purple represents the Phoenicians. This purple is our blood. This is why I can make the claims that I can make, because I have one of the oldest bloodlines in America, as being recognized here since the early 4th century. So it's all about doing your own family history, doing our own lineage. We're all cousins. We're all related at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about putting your family history on record in a book, online, or at the Library of Congress. This is how you get recognized. This is how you get, you know, and Supreme Grand Chief will tell you, because he's recognized, the only person that I know who's recognized on the federal level and on the state level as far as his tribe. So we give honors to, you know, the people who have paved the way. You know, I'm not reinventing the wheel. I ain't done nothing special. I'm following my ancestors. That's all I'm doing. They laid the path. I'm following them. All right. We appreciate everybody for showing up and being a part of this special day. So let's go ahead and eat and break some bread.
You know what I mean? Saying no to a lot of stuff that they wanted, you know, people like us to be involved in, to preserve your character enough to be able to accomplish, you know, the things that you've done. You know what I mean? So, honesty.
Character and morals is all you're going to take in this life, man. People got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have your heart light as a feather. You know what I'm saying? And walk a narrow path, man.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
It's only for the tried and true, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to prove yourself to be worthy of it. You know what I'm saying? And that is saying no to a lot of this foolishness in this world, man. You know what I'm saying? And staying humble, staying, you know, appreciative, and keeping that attitude of gratitude, man.
Praise Allah. I mean, you know, like you were saying earlier, all of the stuff that you was doing. Hold on a second. There was someone. Anyway, a lot of the stuff you were talking about in terms of how many years and things that you've been involved with the movement. You want to give the people a kind of like a rundown as to, you know, your position.
You know, quick rundown. My name is Amir Caliph El Bey, also known as Ace Bey or Chief Red Wolf. I started this journey probably 2012, something like that. Got involved because people used to come to my barbershop, you know, and speak science. I used to have a barbershop in Atlanta, and to cut a lot of different celebrities and rappers and things like that. So we used to have reasoning sessions at the barbershop anyway, you know what I'm saying? So one day this brother came in, he had started going to classes, being taught by a brother named Cheasequah El Bey, from Great Seal, National Association of Moorish Affairs.
Big up,
so yeah, he brought CK to the barbershop. We started building, we started holding classes at the barbershop. We outgrew the barbershop, we moved to a hotel lobby, we outgrew that, and we had to get an event planning space. So we had 200 students at one time, you know, in Atlanta teaching through Great Seal, National Association of Moorish Affairs. So I became Aseer in that movement. And then I caught the attention of Bambaataa. Bambaataa appointed me to be Minister of Information for Zulu Nation in Atlanta down here. And I just started building with some of the master teachers, you know, like Taj, you know, yourself, you know, paying attention to Hakeem.
Honest.
Just soaking up all the game, man. I joined Temple 19, which was ran by Grand Governor Sheikh Renisi L. Here in Atlanta, Georgia. Great teacher, a great teacher in neuroscience temple.
Indeed.
One of the most thorough. You know, I've just been taught by, you know, and sat at the feet of a lot of knowledgeable brothers in this space and put in my 10,000 hours, you know what I'm saying, to be, you know, considered, you know what I'm saying, one of the thought leaders, you know, in the space. Like I said, right up under yourself. I'm under your generation.
you right there, Mom. Like that's why I was just really inspiring watching you come up. You know what I mean? As well as others, but that's why I wanted to do stuff like this to kind of like build and show Moors that there's so many of us, you know what I mean, in the field that have been really putting in work over the years and haven't been, you know what I mean, given awards or, you know what I mean, a lot of this pageantry. That
no acknowledgement, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. No acknowledgement.
Exactly. You know, which I also think is kind of like it's also indicative of the man's journey in general. You know what I mean? Men are not really held in high esteem.
Speak on, especially in these times.
Exactly. These days and times, like the prophet said, or was quoted to have said, there will be a time when children will be walking around and they will hold their mother's hand and be like, look, Mom, that's a man. You know what I mean? Because men would be in such scarce supply, you know what I mean? And not only are we, you know, I want to say in terms of the human species, there's more females than us, you know what I mean? However, the way that they have strived to paint, specifically the original man, but then when you externalize it to males or masculinity in general, how they try to make it like it's almost like a anathema of life or some sort of thing to be medicated against or, you know what I mean, protected against, when it is the basis of how civilization and higher spiritual knowledge comes into this physical form. You know what I mean? So that
it all starts with us. So if they eliminate us, you know what I'm saying, which is the biggest threat, you already know, man, that's their plan. You know what I'm saying? To get all the rewards, the land, and the booty. You know what I'm saying? All of the gold, you know what I'm saying, and things that we've been fighting for so long, and that's what I want brothers to understand, man. Is we've been banging on this beast. Why I tell people, man, we've been banging on this beast, man. You know what I'm saying, for centuries and centuries upon centuries. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't just start in 1492. You know what I'm saying? It didn't just start with the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? We've been putting in the work, you know what I'm saying? So if a group of people can actually really say that, it's the Moors, you know what I'm saying? So
Indeed.
I check people right there, like ain't none of y'all been banging on the beast
longer than
my ancestors.
Or just you haven't. And we're documented in all forms, orally, in stone, on parchment, in books, you know what I mean? In buried treasures, in cartography,
and castles and mosques and
they literally named the dirt after us. The Moors of Scotland.
Exactly.
Rich Moorish land is us. So that leads me to what I was going to ask you. So in your position as you were coming up, how were you able to structure or unify the people to establish the nation? And what is the name, the nation? And let everybody know what's up with that.
I am chief of the Sha Siqua Nation, which is CHEASEQUAH Nation. All right, you can find us at cheasequahnation.org or cheasequahnation.com. All right, basically, Sha Siqua means red bird in Cherokee. All right, my mother's maiden name is Phoenix. So we always grew up having big family reunions. You know what I'm saying? I got pictures in the 80s of us going to family reunions in South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Building with our family clan. You know what I'm saying? So I always had a rich family heritage, history, and bloodline. I always grew up knowing who I was, knowing where my bloodline came from, knowing that we were connected to the Cherokee, because we could trace our name back in Cherokee language. You know what I'm saying?
And all of that, right?
Yeah. So past Sequoia, you know what I'm saying?
You got it.
You know, so we understood that the Phoenicians, then that's why I say I credit my more knowledge and history, you know what I'm saying? Like people like you are plugging those holes of where the history was coming from, because when I came into studies of the Phoenician people, it's directly connected to the Cherokee. Yeah. Like they took the whole, the purple. So I was like, oh, that's my people right there. You know what I'm saying? And the Phoenician Moors have evidence of being over here on this land since the early 4th century. You know what I'm saying?
Moabites,
Bornstone and Back Creek Stone.
There you go, more the Bornstone. That's it right there. The Bornstone is connecting the Tsalagi peoples or the Algonquin, Haudenosaunee Sioux speakers, people who they want to act like was a people when it was more like a collective language group.
Right.
And that ties us directly to Iberia and all of the Moors and the colonies we sent over that they think is the real place, but
exactly. The priest kings. You talk about the priest kings, you're talking about the Phoenician people. You're talking about those who came over here on the first ships, the Phoenician ships, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about those who brought the language, who taught the language, who understood phonetics, phrases.
Right.
Who taught Sequoia the language, you know what I'm saying? So my people are ancient. That's why I be telling people, show me your bloodline. Your bloodline ain't old as mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, like I said, understanding family, clan, tribe, nation, kingdom, empire. It all starts with the family bloodline. That's why in the Bible says the bloodline will save you.
Islam.
It's being connected to that bloodline, and if you understand who the Phoenicians were, you can connect it right back to the Cushites, the Hamites. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The kings. You know what I'm saying? So when they talk about kings, they talking about us. They ain't talking about nobody else's bloodline but us.
That's why they wanted to kidnap us. They wasn't kidnapping anybody else. They were trying to kidnap and ransom us. Whenever you seen Johnny Quest, when him and Haji was running. Haji was the one getting kidnapped. They always had to get Haji because Haji was the bank. Haji was the connection to the nobility and the secrets of where they was at. Because wherever they went, when you really look at the cartoon, all of the people knew Haji. Or Haji knew how to speak all of the languages of places they was already at. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we're so rich of a people, but we get
you are the one that I credit that gives me every time that I look at a cartoon, a video, a movie, I'm looking for the Moorish connection always, because it's always in every single movie show that comes out. It's always a Moor. It's always somebody that represents our culture.
Right.
So
Right.
they've been telling us right in our face that they know who they know who we are, bro.
I agree, bro. I think it's part of the deal. It's part of the whole ritual of transparency, of veiled transparency, where they gotta like put it out there, but they just can't tell you that that's who it is. So
Right.
all the old movies with Step and Fetch It, where he was in the feds, and then he was leading the white people through the desert, and then the white people gave him the feds, and he took the feds off and put on the hat, things like that, like all of that, all the westerns where the so-called Indians or the Moors were speaking Arabic and stuff like that. Like a lot of that stuff was so ingrained in our generation, your generations, the ones that follow. Because I feel like our whole cluster, anybody born like between like 70, the end of 72 up to like 2000, we were like that preeminent generation that was the last to really create stuff.
Exactly.
Like nobody has created anything better than us. Nobody has created anything new really but us. Like all of the heavy technology stuff that's happening. Like I just saw a brother in the hood and on one of these channels, and he created a straight plasma cannon out of two water, the big water jugs. Created the plasma cannon. Like it's a wrap, bro. It's we're so inundated now with this spirit of wanting to create something new that they have to continuously pump the whole stagnation aspect of everything, so that way they wouldn't create a way where we would be so beyond them. They almost had to get us to slow ourselves down. You know what I mean? By bogging ourselves down in a bunch of stuff.
They had to dumb us down. Like I said, when you sit back and look at it, I ain't mad at all, King.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? They knew the power that they had. I sit back and watch, you know, the method that they took out. And like I said, I'm writing a book about how we got that Cherokee name and Salahi and how it connects to the Hebrew, and you know what I'm saying? Just putting all the plugs in the hole, so that now we can now get on the ship and say, hey man, let's go ahead and, you know, and get this thing done. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be understood, man, that we all the same people, that we were just in different times and different zones, exactly, called by different tribes, speaking different languages. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, more. And that's what I was going to say, because there's such now this whole need I see with our people to constantly get into this, trying to fix this joint right here, trying to get or feel the need to like create this whole dichotomy between Moors, people who refer to themselves as American Indian, you know what I mean, and just amongst themselves let's say tribally.
Right.
Now, we're not even talking about the real Siberians, the real ones that's been living off getting the checks off everybody's identity before we even get to them, because they already done. But
that's come to an end. Yeah, it's over for them.
It's over, bro. It really is. Like everything's turning against them. But before we get to them, in terms of our own people with that, it's almost like they feel like, okay, well, you declared yourself to be a Moor, so that means you are no longer Washoe or Abenaki or Papuan or whatever, like just because you did that. And then when you tell them, but no, it's really about the reunification of the title, the imperial title to the land, exactly, of the tribal, exactly, designation is what brings us together. So my grandfather, great grandfather, let's say he was a Labrie, right? He marries a Wilson, but the Wilson, that's already Creek, and that's already Washoe, or on that side. Then on the Wilson, on the Labrie, now that's bringing in the whole Aitan, Louisiana thing, right? And then he winds up having a daughter, right? The Wilson, who then in my generation, in my line, then marries a Rogers, who again is Creek. but also Tsulehisanvhi and what you call it?
I got a first cousin named Wilson, so you're right.
See,
You know
see what I'm saying? More? See, we all play in the same roles because we was in the same. Yeah. So seeing that, so then once I say, okay, let's say Rogers L now, I'm reunifying the title from the sea to the land and from the land to the sea. So
nobility.
Back together. So why is that how is that a problem for anybody, and how does that create some sort of situation? Because now you want to believe all of them.
Like I said, bro, it's all about how you talk. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you go back to children and how they grow up. If they grow up in a family that they don't care to love them or don't care to teach them, you know what I'm saying, they don't have the right basis to even understand and comprehend. So we have to, like I said, we just got to get back to teaching people what is the truth. You know what I'm saying? And going about bringing all of the tribes back together under one, you know what I'm saying, wonder empire. Mm-hmm. Everybody can have their own kingdom, clan, tribe, family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're not trying to impose on that, because that is entrusted to you. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We just want to bring it under a collective of, you know what I'm saying, confederation and treaty.
Treaty, right. You know what I mean? Which is really a Waqif, which is then the universal trust that everybody has, that the heads of each of these dominions are underwriters of.
Exactly. Trustees, or, you know what I'm saying, or beneficiaries.
Just like the Confederacy, up until the time they decided to switch it from a national government into the federal so-called United States, which was then usurped from them. You know what I mean? And then turn into something else after the conclusion of all the wars. But how did you wind up? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How did you wind up? How were you able to get the whole commemoration and everything set aside so that way they don't try?
That's what I was pulling it up right now. I'm about to read it to you.
Great.
So this is a House joint resolution in Georgia.
Islam.
All right, this is House Resolution 458. By Representative Bell of the 75th. All right, commemorating Cheasequah Nation and recognizing February 24th, 2025 as Cheasequah Nation Day and for other purposes. Mm-hmm. Whereas Cheasequah Nation, an autochthonous Aboriginal tribal government, was founded on February 24th, 2013 in Atlanta, Georgia, with a mission to establish an indigenous tribal embassy, as well as ministers of education and information, with the goal of establishing great partnerships and diplomatic relations with the state of Georgia and the Georgia Republic. Whereas Cheasequah Nation exercises its God-given right to self-determination, self-identity, and autonomy, including the right to self-government by a board of council in matters pertaining to wealth, finances, lands, mores, environment, and natural preservation rights, as well as local and internal affairs, including culture, housing, religion, spirituality, employment, media, education, and government.
Excellent.
Whereas We Educate University, my online university, and they give me credit for that. They give me, it says, whereas Cheasequah Nation reserves the right to tribunals, and the right to judge and administer its own tribal members outside of maritime jurisdiction, exempt from the bar and colonial rule under Uniform Commercial Code.
Islam.
Whereas Cheasequah Nation and its ancient bloodline, which includes the Antiquities, Anikituvagi, Salahi, Cherokee, Chata, Muskogee, Gullah Geechee, and Phoenician Moors,
Islam,
as well as lands that include the history producing leaders and scholars who have made significant contributions in agriculture, civil rights, business, education, the arts, and leaving a lasting legacy on the fabric of this nation. Cheasequah Nation has cultivated leaders and committed excellence, community service, social advancement, and the upliftment of fallen humanity.
Islam.
Rising like the phoenix, the tribe's totem and symbol, which is also featured on the seal of Atlanta and also on the seal of the Cherokee, Whereas, through its private tribal ministry association, AHIA Ministries, founded in 2020, Cheasequah Nation has consistently demonstrated commitment to fostering educational, supportive, empowering, and environment for its students, clients, partners, promoting academic excellence, leadership, development, and a strong sense of community. The Cheasequah Nation's values and morals and tribal principles align with the ideas of equality, justice, and service to others, contributing to the betterment of society through guiding principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
That's right. That's right, man. That's excellent.
All right. Now, fitting is the legislative body that recognize and celebrate the achievements of Minister Amir El Bey, Chief Red Wolf of the Cheasequah Nation, and to commemorate February 24th as Cheasequah Nation Day in honor of its founding tribal government and embassy. Therefore, it be it resolved by the House of Representatives that the members of the body recognize and commend Minister Amir El Bey of Cheasequah Nation and AHIA Ministries for their invaluable contributions to education, unity, leadership, and inspiration in the community. Be it further resolved that the members of the body recognize February 24th, 2025 as Cheasequah Nation Day, commemorating and the founding of Cheasequah Nation and the birth date of Chief Red Wolf, Minister El Bey, while reflecting and the enduring impact of its ancestors, tribal members, and the broader indigenous community.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. That's excellent, brother. That's excellent.
They had to send me a purple sealed copy of this House resolution.
They seal on it, right?
So I'm thinking still, like, hold up, this ain't the master seal that I've seen that Georgia had.
Yeah, it is.
So I go up to the Secretary of State. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can get this authenticated with the master seal, because the master seal gives you the governor's signature, which is the comptroller. You know what I'm saying?
Who is your trustee? Because
who is the trustee of the people, the principal people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I go up there. Do you know, Aseer, they have never seen a purple seal before.
Wow.
Do you know that lady took it back to the boss at the Secretary of State, had her look at it, and they was all back there like, wow, I wouldn't authenticate this if I was you, because our seal comes with a red ribbon. You have the purple seal, which is the highest seal in the state.
That's right, brother. That's the bloodline.
Purple ribbon represents what? The purple blood, the Phoenician.
Correct. Oh, right. The more
we taught them everything.
More, and the fact that they don't even have it, because again, he's their governor, and for the corpus chattel. But in terms of your relationship with him, he got to give you up what's due to the fact that Moors all over the planet, especially when they declared it in a person, they are the bailiffs, i.e. the bailics of the hundreds. The hundreds are all the corporations, the municipalities, the pseudo-municipalities, the protectorates, anything that's making money after 1492 falls under that, and we more.
That's what they understand more. If I had 10 brothers with me, bro, I could be the Caliph of Georgia, and we could come in and really tell them what to do, because my first order was in the declaration. We want a tribal embassy. Guess where we wanted it? In the capital.
That's right, because now it's active in the truest sense of the Republican form of government, because now fully represented the American.
Exactly. Now it's the embassy for tribal and intergovernmental affairs.
That's right. Well, so again, you have the right to create apostilles, you have the right to create authentications, you have the right to create accreditations, you can the power and authority to make law, you can establish any type of entity to protect the aspect of that. And then on top of that, they have to back that up. So long as you stay and the nation stays in honor. They can't really do that. If they even
hear that somebody, that's why I said, bro, it's nothing but the ancestors that led me to do this. Because, like I said, it's my relationships that I built already in the city council. I was going up to city council and the state capitol since 2014, advocating for hemp. That's what made me write the book, Indigenous History of Hemp. Because they was looking at me like, Chief so-and-so, we don't care. Who, you know what I'm saying? Like, what school did you go to? Where did you graduate from? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, well, let me write a book. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't finna go to nobody's school to get nobody accreditation.
Look at all of the changes in the regulations and all of that in terms of how it is seen, and even what they're doing now with THC and all of that. Like, think about, like, I remember how it was prior to that. A lot of people sleeping on that, but all of that, your work, your book is also cited in some of those studies that they're using, you know, that they use basically to help legalize this shit.
So, like I said, it was nothing but the ancestors, because it was the relationships that I was able to cultivate, because I have a relationship with the young brother who did the bill. His name is Eric Bell. Eric Bell is the youngest House representative ever in Georgia. He's fresh out of Morehouse College. You know what I'm saying?
Morehouse and AL.
Yeah, he fresh out of Morehouse College, and he wanna, you know, he wanna help his people. You know what I'm saying? So he this is the second term in, so he hasn't been spoiled, or, you know what I'm saying, taught the game and how to do this, and you know what I'm saying. You know, he understands that we have the power. So I told him about it. He was like, all right, man, you know, we could try to probably do something, give you a key to the city or something like that.
It's like, nah.
Key to the city is local for Atlanta. That's what the rappers get. That's what these rappers get, bro. I'm not no rapper. And that's what made him like, hold up, man. I was like, bro, let me explain to you my situation. You know what I'm saying? So I explained to him the situation, started talking to him about trust, this, that, and the third, open his ears up. And, you know, of course, you can't put no money in their pocket. So you have to take them out. You got to spoil them. You got to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm taking them out about the third time we would go out. He was like, man, what you really want to do? I was like, bro, I need a day. If you're able to write a house resolution, we need a day. Because if something happened to me, they still got to celebrate me.
Got to do it.
They still got to celebrate me. You know what I'm saying?
People still got to be supported.
Exactly. Tell the queen I said peace.
Said peace. Said peace, you heard it? Word, more. Like that's what I'm talking about. More active and not passive. That's wrong.
Yeah, man. So the best thing about it is he doesn't know how to write a house resolution.
See?
So he was like, well, bro, I really don't know how to write it. Oh, you don't know how to write it?
Well, let me help you.
I got you, bro. I'm going to author the whole thing for you. Well, so nobody in history, bro, has written their own house bill, bro.
Oh, you the first, Mo. You the first.
That's when I be telling people. I told people a long time ago. I said, well, my word will be law, because I've already done this, Mo.
Yeah.
I done met you before in a past life. That's what I'm saying. That's why we so close. We done already done this. We chose to come and incarnate here to ride vibration.
To remind them, yeah, Mo. That's all. And like I said, the proof is in the work. Like people. That's why when I be seeing all of this slander and all of this stuff going on, and them trying to like put batteries in people's back who just waking up to consciousness, trying to poison them against the Moors, trying to poison them against whatever other group, you know what I mean? And this is not to say that there aren't dirty Moors, that there aren't dirty gods, Israelites.
Oh yeah, it's 85% in every group.
Whatever they are. You know what I mean? However, if you were physically born to the land here, and you have ancestry that was also physically born to the land here, regardless to what you see ideologically, even in the ideological sense, if you really think about it, these so-called things that eventually may have been turned into cults or turned into things or whatever, these all started out as indigenous American movements. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it be the Moorish Temple of America, which the prophet came and then kind of reconsolidated what everybody else was trying to rip away. They were trying to get us to leave here and give up what we had. And instead, he now comes and corrects all of that, but in a way that we can continuously correct it into the future while uniting with everybody. Because nobody on the hemisphere was talking about when the Europeans got here, they found the Moors up and down the Mississippi River. Nobody was saying that. So then
Noble Ali was the truth, bro. I don't know if y'all understand yet, but that man was a true prophet, bro. I have more appreciation for Noble Drew Ali every single day, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. He was the only one who understood to put everybody in a trust. And that's what everybody, that's why I keep telling people, that's why they're talking about 2030 so much. 2030. Because that's when, you know what I'm saying, the trust is about to expire. Somebody else got to step up, you know what I'm saying, and take control of the land again, Mo.
Exactly, Mo. And they have been working diligently to turn everybody.
I'm telling people, I'm like, why you think ain't been no wars on this land, really? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. They think like they be really trying to, the communists and the Marxists and the insurrectionists and the secessionists, they be trying to really pump this idea of, you know, America being invaded and things like that. And when you really do the statistical understanding on it, take us out of it. Let's just take us out of it. Let's say we wasn't here. Do you understand that 1 out of every 2, there's 250 million people in America, let's say, right? 1 out of every 2 of those people have guns, right? 1 out of 3 of those people have multiple guns. So if you really amplify that, that means that there are more guns in America than there are in the entire world. Entire world right now, we have more guns, just guns in this country. Just guns. We're not even talking about heavy artillery now. We're not even talking about the gun shows and the fairs and all that. Remember, Lockheed Martin is here. Raytheon is here. All of these heavy weapon companies. Why, if China and all of these people are so good, how come they're not based over there? They're based over here for a reason, because all of those corporations, whether we realize it or not, whether we want to accept it or not, if they are doing business on the land, they owe us rent. We are the ones, the head auditors, according to the British laws that they're under, to the point that the Moors, we're in the Black's Law Dictionary. And when you read what it means, it says literally what I'm saying, that we are the Beyliks. We are the ones that were supposed to always come in and receive our payment. That's what it is. And that money is so compounded that they can never really pay, because it was never their money in the first place. So all they could do is give what? Concession. And they can't give concessions to Negroes, to anybody. Technically, that's the 14th Amendment and everything. And now they're finding out just last week that with the birthright citizenship thing, that only applies to the Siberian created so-called Indian people who were created because they didn't receive Indian status until 1924. So the ones that got that, they came under the DC jurisdiction, which is why DC is the one that decides who's an Indian, who not, and all of this other crap. So that means then that they were sanctioned wards of the state who were able to basically act as a usufruct, meaning that they were basically like vessels that the government could hold this cultural stuff in, while at the same time disenfranchising us from it through the same act. So the
custodians, man, that's all. They just custodians, man.
That's it, in the simplest sense. So
custodians.
So what are we arguing for? Like what? Like the whole morphobia thing, the whole we gotta be Indian, but then we stateless thing. Like none of that has got us anywhere. So I wanted to have this discussion with you to also show the people that not only has this brother achieved this for himself and his people in Georgia, right? This is, and remember, this is after Europe. This is after that whole era, because most of those people who received a lot of that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding went to great heights in the mainstream and are all now paying for it now, because none of them ever did anything with any of that knowledge other than make a rap song, make a dance, you know what I'm saying? Sell some liquor, sell weed. So like I said, more in terms of how Atlanta is seen just globally now, just with all of the pandemic stuff going on, all of the Fannie Will, all how they basically almost try to degenerate it because it's such a rich Moorish legacy type dominion. You being there is actually creating the exact opposite vibration of where they actually want this whole society, this new America thing to go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm aware of the danger, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I said I made them, like I say, even if they take me off the plane, they still got to celebrate me, man. And nobody achieved that, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to pat my back on. Not Malcolm X, not Martin Luther King. Nobody got a day before they pass. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I had my family there, Mo. I had my mom, my dad, my son, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, your children.
Tribe, you know what I'm saying?
They don't want to no lost torment no quicker than it's coming for them. They need you, right. And they know that more. Like, it's not just me even, you know what I mean, admiration why. It's the fact just based upon the timing, the prophecy. They let Larry Hoover L out today.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The old man is home. The old man is home.
Chief Leaf next, like it's about to be on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and again, man, honest to him, you know, honest to all of those Moors, him, Chief Leaf, the El Rukins, the P Stones, everybody that was taken down, but actually strived to build up the community before all of the infiltrations, before all of the things. Big up to Gaddafi.
I was one of the ones who actually educated the brothers on how to set up the nonprofit growth and development when they was you know what I'm saying? My man Boat, man, OGKK, who, you know what I'm saying, free him right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was actually doing the community service work, trying to unite the street tribes. So that's what I'm saying. I have, not only in this life, experience and uniting people and bringing people together, but in past lives, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I built kingdoms before, man. This ain't my first rodeo. This the last, matter of fact.
Obviously, word more. Like, what we gonna do after this? Like, got to, you know?
Yeah, this the last one, Mo. I can't do it again.
Praise Allah. Nah, no, I think this is the time in which those of us and yourself, myself, all of the people listening, everybody that will listen or tune in or whatever, who listens to future, they will remember that regardless of how they try to alter our image or get us to degenerate ourselves and our children, the more they try to wipe out our actual culture as Moors, Moorish Americans, MUR Moors, MOOR Moors, you know, MOHR Moors, whatever it is, the fact that we unify all around the planet, and anybody that got this hue is basically going through the same type of situation, regardless of what government they are, whether it's an African government, a European government, a Chinese government, Asia, they all receiving the same type of
they're displacing all of us off the land right now. They're trying to mass evict every one of us off the land right now, bro. The eviction crisis is out of control in Atlanta right now. You know what I'm saying?
But again, that's why they have to come home, because the only people who could give them asylum or teach them a better way of life is the one people who are not a part of that way of life to their detriment. And that only people who, again, like you said, are on record over millennia for banging on the same people that's banging on you right now, whether they was root Moors, German Moor, whatever type of Moor, we was going against them, and we still doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just now we're in the era where I feel that we're supposed to receive or see the actual culmination of all of the stuff that we sacrifice for in order.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like we climbing that mountain. And we at the apex right now, but the air is very thin at the apex. This is where your muscles are the tightest. You know what I'm saying? This is where you feel all the pain, and you want to, you know what I'm saying, go on back down, but you got to finish the ascent. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been training my mind, man, getting back into boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just staying ready and staying mentally, you know what I'm saying, in what I can control. Because I can't control nothing outside. You know what I'm saying? No outside forces. You can't control what's going on in the government, who gets laid off today, and you know what I'm saying? All you can do is control your temple to make sure that it's in alignment.
Just do what you can. And like I always tell my son, I said, we're Moroccans, not Moroccans. So ain't nothing we can do. So as ancient Moroccans, everything that's supposed to be, when they said we couldn't take over the whole, we did. When they said that we couldn't maintain, we did. When they said we couldn't change the world diet, we did. We did everything we said we were going to do. When they said, oh, well, y'all don't have nothing. Y'all don't have instruments. What y'all going to make music out of? Boom, created a whole culture that fed generations of us. You know what I'm saying? That by the time we really realized what we had, we didn't realize that half of it was planned, and they were using the wave of the energy that they already knew was coming in us. So imagine if we had been ahead of that wave and been conscious of what it was at that time, unlike the generations before, we would be further. However, I also feel like being that we are the last creators on the earth, that everybody else had to be given a chance to have splay on it. The same way, like if you had children, you would want each one of your children to have the same benefit as the rest of them. We stopped looking at them like that because we got so bogged down in maintaining the war against each other that we didn't realize we was warring in front of the children. So once the children got to the point where they say, oh, mommy and daddy ain't shit, we're going to basically take mommy and daddy's power, and then we're going to be that, and then we're going to make them suffer and feel like what it was like to be treated like children. And thus, you know what I mean, entered all of the...
Daddy back on the throne now, man. You know what I'm saying? He's back on the throne, and that's why I had the celebration at the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? And I had, you know, actually the youngest House representative there, Eric Bell, who did the presentation, and I had the oldest.
And the oldest.
Which is a sister named Jacqueline, man, who's actually in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying?
So wow. So she seen the whole circle.
Yeah. And I gotta get with her soon. So now it's connecting with these, you know, city councilmen, going to the city council meetings. You know what I'm saying? Making my face known, making what I represent known, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, getting in position. I'm giving orders. Now I'm in commander mode now, more. You know what I'm saying? I'm in commander mode now. So like I said, if they gonna take me off out of here, I'm gonna give them a reason to. You know what I'm saying? And my son's just gonna pick up the baton and run anyway. That's why I had him. You know what I'm saying?
So long as you are, what you've done is going to create a situation that now is reconsolidating and recontextualizing what other people can now say. Like nobody can say that they're not going to give that type of recognition to a cult. They're not going.
Bro, they had to read this in front of the House to get it passed. That's what I'm saying. People don't understand how bills are even introduced and passed. They had to read this in front of all the senators, and they had to vote on it, and it was 100% approved.
Yeah. What else they gonna do? They want, what else they gonna do? They all Freemasons. They know what they gotta do. They know the sign. They've been being.
They have to stay in honor.
They gotta stay in honor when honor is presented to them. They know the story of the traveling. Like they know what they gotta do. Nobody has been right enough to be able to hold them to task to do it, because
and that's why I said, Mo, I feel like they're ready to give us, you know what I'm saying, back the keys. They're ready, but we have to show ourselves upright and ready to handle the task. You know what I'm saying? So this is why people have to have their nations in order. I have a real government website. Like it looks like a real government website.
You know what I'm saying? That lets you know.
Yeah. So you go through it. You know what I'm saying? You can become a citizen. This, that, and the third. We provide services. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go talk to the sheriff. You know what I'm saying? To let them know that we got a right to travel. This, that, and the third. We don't need nobody getting molested. You know what I'm saying? On these roads, if they got, you know what I'm saying, their tribal identification.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's they ain't never seen nobody like me, bro, from the streets, you know what I'm saying, that has went through all of the different schools of thought, you know what I'm saying, to be taught what's right, and I took what was right and put it on my plate.
That's right.
And you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And made my own nation. And like I said, we have the similar principles of what Noble Drew Ali taught. You can't get away from them principles. Those are the universal principles.
He said, imitate me.
Come on, man.
He set it off so hard. They had to go to Saudi Arabia and start dealing with the Arabs because he got everything back. And they had to flip it before everybody realized what really happened. And the fact that he, again, is the Caliph of all of so-called Islam because he is born in the birthplace of it. True Islam, not this Roman created stuff that they created back in the days to get our people caught up, which is why we split from them. Why do you think we went up into Spain and Europa and Germany and all that? We wasn't staying over there.
Exactly.
We went all with their crazy shit. That's why they the way that they are now. And now what they doing? They all trying to come and start to get favor for Moors now. I'm seeing more and more of these other nationalities, especially, when we be out. So it ain't no thing. But the fact is more and more people, I don't even have, it's to the point now where I haven't had to say, somebody hasn't asked me, it's not what are you anymore. It's like, are you a Moor? They're asking.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah. So it's
the knowledge is out there. The knowledge is out there more. How would you explain to somebody who does not understand the headdress that you wear?
Quick story. I'm on the playground with my son, and I got this one on, right? But I got this one with the jewel and the feather.
Yeah.
And the longer tassel. So I'm out there, and we chilling, we playing. So then the other kids come on the thing, and then the little kid came. So they playing with my son, and then I noticed them talking to him, and then he was like, he pointed. So he's like, that's your dad. So they come over. He brings them over. He's like, Dad, they want to ask you something. I was like, what's up? So the little flaxen girl said, I just had to know, are you a genie? And I was like, a genie? I was like, well, no. However, this genies are from the place that our family's from. So then she was like, what do you mean? So I said, Amor. So Amor was like, well, back in the days, people that look like us always used to wear stuff like that.
How old is Amor now?
At that time, Amor was about 9. Now he's 16. So, it's a whole different thing.
Amor 16 now?
Yeah, 16. And she was just like, wow. So by the end of the thing, I had all these little kids there, and they asking questions about the Moors. They was like, yo, so what were the people? They would call them Moors. So then they start bringing up stuff that they remember. These are babies. So then they start saying like Aladdin. I remember he had the little red joint on. I was like, yeah, like Aladdin. So they was like, yeah, also when Bugs Bunny. So they just start bringing up all of this Moorish history from cartoons.
Right.
And then my son, so I'm sitting here with him. The white people standing there, they in amazed, right? So I say all that to say that people are more engaged than we would give them credit for if we let them be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like some Moors, I've been around certain Moors, and they'll just be antagonistic when a white person come or some other nation come and say some shit like that to them. But what we don't realize is that, remember, this is a Freemasonic society, wherever you're at. So a lot of these people have questions. And the way that they ask you see what I'm saying? And the way that you answer allows more keys and stuff to be open. So when they
everything is code, you gotta decode everything. Yeah.
They would say stuff like, that's a great hat. Right?
Yeah.
Like this or this. So if I say, thanks or whatever, it could just be whatever. But then I'll correct them. I'll say, thank you, but it's not a hat. Oh, see, now it's on them now. It's not a hat. I've already corrected you. So now that you're either going to take the correction or you're going to do what the Freemasons usually do is then ask the question, which is, really, what is it? Right? Then I said, it's the national headdress of, of the, Moorish societies, and I'm a jurist then. It's funny, the more, then they just start giving it up. It's crazy. It's like you get to a point where sometimes you don't even want to be the ambassador of somebody's understanding. However, I always think I may be the only more these people ever meet in their life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? In their life.
And you always presented yourself sharp, bro. Every time I see you, you know what I'm saying? You represent well. You understand that you're projecting an image to the world. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You've always been one of the sharp ones out here, brother.
we all we got.
One of the trendsetters, especially with the hairdressers. That's why I had to ask you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of folks don't give you credit. You know what I'm saying? But
I really do. Back in the days, I used to be reading this stuff and going through it, and then I'm wearing my fez, my typical red cherry and stuff, and then the more I'm getting into it, I'm like, but when one day I sat and I looked at the picture of the prophet of them in front of all their businesses, and I noticed that nobody was really dressed alike. Everybody had their own way of being in regalia. Yet it was still uniform in that. So I was like, I'm not just going, I'm going to just do it how I want to do it, because that's how they did it. That's how we always do it. So we're confining ourselves based upon somebody's, how this person going to feel. How they feel when they see you in him in the yarmulke. They don't feel no way. How they feel when they see the Sikh in the Dark Star. They don't feel no way. Whatever. So why is it an issue with us? Because when we do it, it's done. Because when we put on the regalia, we go back to how whatever the place was used to look when we was there, whether it's Poland, Germany, Ireland, Scotland, Asia. We always gonna be that. So I feel like
that's what made me popular too, because I wore my hairdress a lot out in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So if I was going to a concert or anything, I'm still pulling up with my hair. I used to cut hair in my fingers.
Right? That's right. That's right. And you ain't never had no problem.
Never. Nothing but admiration and respect.
Love.
You know what I'm saying? A Turkish brother gave me so much. A Tarbush. A Tarbush for the Lord. Man, like he wanted to kiss me. I'm like, man, back up, man. Hold up, man.
We the ones that have freed these niggas. Like, they know. So when they see you, they automatically. I've had experiences where I've seen people. One day I was in Publix. And I had a different one on. I don't even remember. I had one on. It was an old Spanish lady, and she saw me, and it's like her whole eyes just lit up. And then she held my hand, and she told me the story about how when she was young, all of the Moors used to come to the port in Cuba, and they used to sell all of the things. I was like, well, where was they coming from? She's like, they was coming from America. They was coming from Morocco. She said also Morocco and America. Like, this is an old Spanish lady. You would just pass her by. Going in, start welling up. She's telling me, I'm damn near welling up. I'm like, damn, she really giving it up. So imagine now, if I just had the baseball cap on that day and just walked past her, none of this would have happened. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's a magical thing.
It is.
They get trained.
I can testify.
It stopped being about you. And it's about who you are. And that's the thing that I think our people are almost scared to really do that. They scared to be themselves. They scared to have their big nose. They scared to be as dark as they are. They scared to be too light. They scared to be too black. They scared of whatever it is. The fear is keeping them locked in this archetype that then locks them in to being whatever they feel they gotta be just to get along. And what you're providing is a camera too, to say, well, there's a whole nother way where you ain't even gotta do all of that. You ain't gotta do half the stuff y'all doing, because I already did it.
I
did it because this person did it, and he did it because you see what I'm saying? And it all really go back to who? The prophet. Because again, we didn't hear about him until we was damn near grown.
Yeah.
We heard about everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody else. And like I said, the last one I would say was when my grandmother came home one day fresh from a C. Freeman L class. He blessed the dead C. Freeman L. He wound up, he was holding class in the Catholic, in the church. They shut the church down, and somehow he had the key. And he needed some place to hold class because the theater or something was happening, black, and they gave him. So I'm coming fresh from his class with the fez on, come in the door. First thing out her mouth is, "Oh, you are more now?" Man, you understand? I grew up with this lady my whole life. Sunday school, all of this type of stuff. And then for her to just boom, say it one day, to be that clear, and then for you to know what it was, that's when I realized, oh, they keeping everything from us, B.
Yeah. Secrets, man. It's secrets.
They keeping everything from us, B.
Secret. It's secret, but it ain't sacred. You know what I'm saying?
But you say sacred now, or you say Bey or keep Bey sacred now, they think you talking about Beyonce hair products. You see how they flip it? You see how they just move something immaterial into the archetype of this holy thing, and then get everybody to go along with it like it's supposed to be like that. And then me and you just looking at everybody in the trance like, damn.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs out here, brother. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's coming to fruition. All the prophecies that Noble Drew Ali is saying is coming to fruition. Even from they saying that they supposed to go to the digital currency in August, and that's the prophecy coming in fruition. That it's gonna be dollars in the street. You ain't gonna be bending over to pick up.
That's right. That's what I heard. I heard that.
I'm like, boy, prophet was on it, bro.
On it, man. Well, you know, like I said, man, they collapsed the whole system. They killed all of the people that Jacob. That's the other thing. Jacob Astor and Guggenheim and a lot of them was actually supporting him.
Yeah.
Low key, they was really down with it. And they said, nah, we gotta get rid of all of them. So once they got rid of him, they got rid of all of them on the Titanic.
On the Titanic.
All of the Titanic, and then all of the Dirty Moors and the Blue Vein sellouts, and then their white decoys, then became the face for everything, and then they just kept it moving until us. So too bad.
And they said, and Noble Drew Ali said it was gonna be the 7th generation, bro. Right. And that's I think we the 6th. I think the 7th is our children, but. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we right on point of what the prophecy is saying, bro.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So any closing words you want to have for the people, or how they can get in touch with you, how they can support the nation?
Like I said, the website is cheasequah.org or cheasequahnation.com. You can email me at cheasequahnation@gmail.com for any inquiries. Or if you want to book a consultation or anything like that, you know, that's how I've been really working out here more. You know what I'm saying? We're pushing the ministries so we can get people set up in their private ministry associations so that they can educate. You know what I'm saying? Because everything starts from the missionary. You know what I'm saying? And from the minister. So if we have our own tribal ministries, then that's what we use as vehicles to go out and minister to the world. And administer law. You know what I'm saying? So it's understanding our power. It's understanding that we need to be, you know, in the seat of command now. You know, we've done enough teaching, enough talking, you know what I'm saying? So it's time for us to really step in our positions of power, which I know you have, brother, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, as soon as, you know, I get an opening and we get that notice of the embassy, and I've already checked. There are rooms available in the Capitol because a lot of the Democrats have left office.
They gotta get them up out of there. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? They get up out of there for it all come down on them, and they realize all the money they were stealing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I said, you might well put the Chinese in there. You know what I mean? You might have a better outcome because at least they're efficient. Them Democrats, man, they have just destroyed themselves.
But you know, another thing is, I think we need to know. One of the prophecies that Noble talked about is the brothers from the East. You know what I'm saying? Coming to help the brothers in the West. You know what I'm saying? So I think what we need to do now is sign individual treaties and partnerships, you know what I'm saying, with some brothers in the West over there. Like I have a treaty with the Ethiopian World Federation,
Islam,
you know, which is under Haile Selassie, the Rastafarian culture. You know what I'm saying? So I've been making strategic partnerships and treaties with different organizations, different tribes, because the power is us recognizing each other. It's not outside forces that we're older than recognize. That's why I be telling people, it wasn't to get the recognition from Georgia. It's just to put it on record. You know what I'm saying? Now it's on record. Now you can act under the declaration. You know what I'm saying?
Make them, again, debtors, subordinates.
Exactly. As they should be. You know what I'm saying? They are servants to us. We are the people. We are the principal people. We know exactly where our bloodline originates from. So, you know, we're not asking for anything. We're coming in, you know, demanding what our ancestors deserve. You know what I'm saying? So
that's excellent.
That's what it's about, more.
That's excellent, brother. That's excellent, brother. Well, I would just add on to just say again, man, watching you and building with you over the years as you've been doing it, and like I said, watching you do it, you know what I mean, somewhat from afar, it really was also inspirational because it was mirroring a lot of the stuff that I was going through, striving to work with and get things done to be able to have something to establish for the people and all of that without all of the drama and the excessive back and forthness and a lot of the negativity that goes with uniting people, because a lot of our people don't.
I see you as a Caliph of Florida, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain morals in different states, and we just got to start recognizing and giving those titles to. You know what I'm saying? To be like, man, no, that's the Caliph of Florida. You need to, anytime you go in the Florida Territory, you need to tap in. And you know, I'm an original Floridian, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Tallahassee, Leon County.
Born at the capital, Mo.
Yeah. So I gotta go back and get my estate in Florida as well. You know,
I'm gonna holler at you about it more because there's some stuff we've been doing out here and it's been really looking really well. So I'm gonna holler at you about that privately.
Yeah. I'm a state citizen of Florida legally. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, God. Like the more things that happen. And I'm seeing you build on stuff, and it's reminding me of stuff that we went through, we was doing, and to see it now get to the fruition where you've again accomplished it at the same time that people are on the internet, on the YouTube, on these different devices, talking all of this crap about what Moors can't do and what Moors ain't and what more. So it's like that's why these talks are going to be great, because it's like, the more they say what we can't do, Moroccans instead of Moroccans, like this is what it's about, B, because you are again a living example.
We are the Amaru Khans, man. You know what I'm saying? I am the Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm the ace, which makes me first. And like I said, leaders don't have a lot of followers. It just means you go first.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So I'm tried and true. I done been through the fire. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I'm looking for others to help me along this mission, man, because like I said, it's all about unity at this point. You know, gathering and forming right confederations. You know what I'm saying? As our ancestors did, man.
That's right.
Operating under morals and principles and treaties.
That's it, God. We don't have to agree, but when it came to certain things, we have a universal agreement on. You know, and then once we can accept that as original people, everybody can exist so long as nobody is endangering the other dominion. And so long as we keep that covenant, which again, we're moving closer and closer to, I think that there's nothing that's going to be able to stop us as the true so-called Americans, or the, what they like to say is the Aborigines now, that because all of this court case, this birthright is going crazy. Yeah, it's revealing so much stuff that's why we're not hearing about it. I'm just getting piecemeal information from somebody that's actually in the sessions, that's going through it, watching, listening to all this stuff, and all they doing is talking about us. All they doing is talking about the original Aborigines and the fact that they could never be made citizens of the United States. And everybody's tiptoeing around the word, well, who is this directly relating to? So the cat is out the bag. All the Siberians is about to get a big.
So you heard about the lawsuit?
Yeah, more. I heard that's they self in the head, more. I saw that more of the brother from the it's over.
Exactly. Exactly. Chief Secuah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have a relationship with his father clan called the Munbarafi clan. So that's the clan that actually gave them the charter to get Yamasi tribe to be able to operate. You know what I'm saying? You know, Mo, I go talk to the bosses, Mo. We don't go talk to no no middlemen, man. We need to go see who's making these decisions, man, and that's what we need to talk to.
Yo,
you know what I'm
saying? They've shot themselves in the foot so many times. It's so bad. I remember I did a video on Albert Perry and his 385,000 DNA, almost a million DNA, like 5 years ago, almost 10 years ago now, right? Somebody sent me a clip the other day. They sent a clip of the whole article, right? But they had a picture of an old white man in the shit. I was like, oh wow, it's over, bro. It's sad.
Hey, that's my ancestor, bro.
Yeah.
My people are from Barnwell, South Carolina, bro. We built up every city with the name of Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? From Phoenix City, Alabama to Phoenix, Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go, my family got big headstones in the 1800s with Phoenix on it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, bro, they never could tell me who I was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I learned as a child. I made sure my sons knew early. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's all it's about, passing this torch, brother.
And with that, more, I'm gonna definitely close it. Please email me like the declaration and any pictures you may have, because when I edit it up, I'm gonna try to fly them in. Like at that part where you were talking about the when you were reading from the thing, the screen went blank. So I'm gonna try to have this declaration in that place and any pictures you got. So I can
send your messages, but I'm gonna send it to your WhatsApp.
Yeah, send it to. That'll be great. Now I just take it from there. I'll email it to myself. Yeah. All right,
bro.
It's
one love, bro.
Always, man. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, equality.
Love, bro.
Honest.